Survival of the fittest, ain't no room for the weak. East side legend with a west side grind. Hustle in my veins, got the city on my mind. Ain't no love lost in this world so cold. Got a heart full of gold, but my soul been sold. Posted at the corner store, cash in hand. Brothers on the run, cause the cops don't understand. We just trying to make it in this land of the free. But freedom ain't free when you trapped in the deep. Detroit gangster, king of the streets. Living in the shadows with a real cheese meat. Got the game on lock, every move is a leak. Survival of the fittest, ain't no room for the weak. Respect the hustle, recognize the game. From the Motor City where we don't play the same. Life in the fast lane, chasing that fame. But in the end, it's about the family name. Stacking paper high like the towers we see. Built from the ground up, legacy of the deep. Blood, sweat, and tears in these streets we roam. But in the end, it's about the family name. Stacking paper high like the towers we see. From the ground up, legacy of the deep. Blood, sweat, and tears in these streets we roam. But in the end, it's about the family name. Never back down, always stand tall in the face of adversity. I'll never fall, live by the code. Respect and loyalty in the city of hustlers, that's the royalty. Detroit gangster, king of the streets. Living in the shadows with a real G's meet. Got the game on lock, every move is elite. Survival of the fittest, ain't no room for the weak. From the east to the west, we rise above. In the heart of Detroit, it's all about love. Ain't no city like mine, tough and gritty. Salute to my brothers who run this city. From the east to the west, we rise above. In the heart of Detroit, it's all about love. Ain't no city like mine, tough and gritty. Salute to my brothers who run this city.
What's up? I went ahead and dropped you right back down. No, I thought you was.
Nah, I'm good,
up,
man. It's all chilling, fam.
I thought you was getting him together. I'm like, oh, let me go ahead and pull you back down.
Nah, he just an active one, like. But he good. He's straight, man. He about to go ahead and get ready for bed because it's a school night, so you already know what time it is.
I know that's right, goddamn. What's up, man? How you been, dog?
I'm chilling, man. It's been another week of wrestling. How you been?
It's been a week of excitement for me. I got a little upcoming event coming up. You know, I got to get ready to go down in Texas, November 2nd.
I will be in the building.
Oh, you gonna be there, my
Yep.
man? Oh yeah. Make sure you be there. It's gonna be pretty exciting. It's been hard though. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been a while since I've been in fight mode, at least preparing for a fight. But mentally, I'm there. It's now just a physical thing. I'm cutting back on a whole lot of shit and making sure I'm getting my body right, getting my road work in, getting back healthy, and just getting back in fight shape at the best I can. But I plan on putting on a show come Houston. What you been up to now?
Same old. Just doing a lot of behind the scenes movement and getting things situated. But everything's been moving, man.
Bet. Yeah, I seen some of the clips that you put together. Which, by the way, those edits that you did was a fucking amazing. G, I love it.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
We got a few people in the building. Jay Wills. I was just on the stream playing Red Dead. And Jay Wills like, man, what's up with Wrestling Wednesdays, bro? When y'all talking about wrestling? Well, he's here.
We here, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We got D Degenerate in the building. Rocky, what's going on? And yeah, most definitely. They're gonna be rolling in as we get to picking up. But until then, what's new in the wrestling world, man? I've been away for a second. So what happened recently?
Well, the most recent thing that happened is a John Cena sighting on Club Shay Shay. Matter of fact, my friend done sent me the link, and I stopped what I'm doing, and of course I said, "Oh, I gotta hear this interview." He spoke about everything from The Rock His was who's on his Mount Rushmore, and quite a few other topics. This is where a lot of people remember the clean cut John Cena, and obviously that was a PG era, so I get it. But now it's like I'm part time. I'm in control of my own future. I'm just letting it flip. I'm just letting it ride. So it's a safe space. So this is the John Cena that we all wanted to see. Not to say we don't appreciate what he did during the ruthless aggression era or the PG era, but
Yeah.
this John Cena, it's an older John Cena. He is 47, so this comes with a lot of wisdom.
Yeah, it is. Most wrestlers, by the time they start, I don't want to use the term age not, because you look at Ric Flair. I think Ric Flair's last match was what, 2-3 years ago or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, some of them old timers, they stay in. I would say some stay in longer than what they need to. But once you get those 47, 48, 40, I mean, you look at Randy Orton. I believe him and Randy Orton is around the same age, if not, I think he's a little bit older. But they get less active though. You look at someone like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, he's on a special contract. He's literally an event type guy only. He's not doing the shows every day or every week like he used to. But with the John Cena thing though, when he announced his retirement, I was like, wait, he doing what? Why
Yeah.
is he retiring?
Yeah, because what was it? 2022? Yeah, I believe it was 2020. Yeah, it was 2022 when he debuted on SmackDown against Kurt Angle. So yeah, retirement. Yeah, 20 years. It's time to go. It's 100% time to go.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm gonna hold it down till you get back. It's time to go, but also he's found success outside of the wrestling world too. You look at what he's been doing in movies. I mean, he just did that movie. I think that was last year with Jackie Chan, which I found it to be a great movie. Some people they rated it bad, but I mean, he's had huge success within the DC universe on that side of things. Hell, he's in Mortal Kombat with the character that he's playing. I mean, hell, the man is just doing. He's doing things, and
Who are you talking about again?
John Cena. You know, the character. What's the character that he's playing in the DC universe with the helmet on?
Peacemaker. Yes.
Peacemaker. He's found success in Peace, which I love him in that role, especially like when he gets to just like snapping off and shit. But yeah, he's found success in that. He's found success in movies. Like I said, the movie that he did with Jackie Chan was a pretty good movie. To me, it was. He's doing commercials. I mean, hell, the dude's physically fit. He can go for another like good 10, 15 years in the movie industry if he does it right.
Oh yeah, him and Batista. There's something about just not going to school for acting, but then again, you go to wrestling, and not only you gotta be in tip top shape, depending on what role you're playing, you also gotta realize that there's a script to it. So you memorizing scripts, and back then during the Vince McMahon days, he is known for changing the script at the last minute, like maybe a couple hours before the show starts. He'll rip the whole entire script and got a new writing team write something else out. So not only you doing that, you're improvising, you're doing this on the spot, you're doing it live. There is no second takes, there is no third takes. You're doing this in the stadium, in an arena of 12, 13, 14,000 people. Or if you talk about WrestleMania, you're doing this in a football stadium. So there ain't no takes, ain't no take twos. You got to do it right the first time.
Yeah, you do. The thing I've always said, I can't remember who said this in the interview, but I believe it was Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was doing the interview. I can't remember who, but he was talking about that football movie that he was in. And
The Longest Yard, yes.
Longest Yard. They Smarty Art Negro. What's happening, my G? He said that wrestlers make good movie actors because you think about. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, wrestling's fake." No, it's scripted storytelling. Storytelling. That's all it is.
Right.
So a lot of wrestlers do make good movie actors. I want to say, and I could be wrong about this, Chris. You might know more than me. First movie actor of Hollywood like actor that came from wrestling would be Hogan, right? Or was it before him? Who did a movie before Hogan? Because Hogan did Rocky, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he did Rocky 3. 3 was Mr. T. Yeah. So before that, I don't think anybody else did a movie. Andre the Giant, he was in a movie?
Andre the Giant was in the movie. That's a good question. Who else? Roddy Piper, but I don't know if
Nope.
it wasn't before. It wasn't before Hogan. Yeah, I gotta look that one up. That's a good question as far as who's the first. And I believe it was. Oh, it was Roddy Piper.
Really? He was
Yeah.
in what movie was it?
Let's see. Let me check. Transition. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, so salute to Piper. Where did he do?
He did a movie role.
Small role. Body Slam. That's yeah, it's called Body Slam.
Really? I've never known. I've never known that. Okay, cool. But back to the point. John, like, just like, and I don't want to use The Rock because I know him and Rock is in like a little rivalry, whatever.
No, they're good.
I love. Yeah, I know they're good. It's just smack talk. It's all kayfabe. You know, what I'm saying? For those who don't know what kayfabe is, the real wrestling fans know what kayfabe is. For those who don't know, you're keeping up the gimmick, you're keeping up the image, you're keeping up the brand of company. But even more so, I found some more WrestleMania news as I was getting ready for this episode. So, do you remember who Mercedes Moné is?
Yep. Sasha Banks.
She's planning to return at WrestleMania. Let me pull up the article here so we can get more in depth about it. Yeah.
She's trying to come back and she just barely got to AEW.
Well, we're gonna see what they say.
She tried to come back last year when it was in Hollywood. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so this is old. But this is not new news then.
Oh, because we can talk about that.
Well, go ahead.
For those who remember, she walked out on the company. Her and Naomi, they walked out on the company because they didn't like the direction that the storyline was going, and they didn't like the direction they was putting her and Naomi in. And for them to be tag team champions, you have to treat them with high regard, and you got to give them the best of the best. And you're putting them in like mid-level talent. It's like you're taking them for granted, but you're elevating other wrestlers above them. And for context, these are two African American women. So, with that, this is when Vince McMahon was running the company. They went to John Laurinaitis' office, dropped the titles, and walked out of the company. And of course, that led to the announcing to say, what did they say? Cole said it, and dang, I forgot homeboy's name that's on SmackDown with Wade Barrett. Corey Graves said, like, they duped the company or they walked out. They pretty much tried to shame their name. That wasn't Vince's call, by the way. Walked out the company, went to go take a chance to do their own thing. Went to go to other wrestling promos, like Naomi, we saw her in Impact Wrestling. Sasha, obviously, she went to New Japan. Then now she's in AEW. And of course, after Vince left, Naomi came back this past Royal Rumble. All because of this goes to show you where Vince's mind was at and how he treated his talent. It's like if you're going to give us the championship belts, treat us like a champion is supposed to be treated. If not, give that belt to somebody else. Don't elevate others just to downplay us. And now you're talking about uh, she. Now I would like to read that article to see where her mind was at, but to say she would have returned last year, I can see that because Vince is long gone from the company.
So I was just about to ask you that. So you think that was a Vince call to well, we already know how Vince treated wrestlers,
Mhm.
but outside of Vince, what do you think influenced that?
For them to walk out.
What do you think influenced Vince to like treat them like that for them to walk out? Because we all know I don't want to paint more of a picture than what's already out there in the public,
Mhm.
but Vince just treated people like shit. Just let's just be honest, right?
Yes.
And if you wasn't really to do a job, if you don't know what a jobber is, go look at the term. But if you wasn't really ready to do a job, or if you didn't fit the image to what Vince McMahon seen as a wrestler, you really wasn't getting the push. We discussed this in the last episode. So for them two, what do you think it was?
That of Jesus. Why would Vince do what he did? That's a real good question.
Yeah,
Honestly, honestly this is rare times you're gonna hear me say I don't know because as far as the storyline go, Vince controlled all of that. If he didn't like it, where the storyline was going, he'll change it. He'll tweak it. So why he did that to Naomi and Sasha, I would never know. But on optics alone, it looks bad. Why are you not treating these champions? Why are you putting these champions on the mid card? And also, I'm trying to remember where was Stephanie in all this. Stephanie McMahon, to be exact. I don't know where she was at in all of this. I'm not going to put this on her feet, although I can make the argument. If somebody wants to say no, she played a part in the women's division being where it is at, which elevated, which I agree, which means she has to take the bad as well. But then again, we also saw Stephanie lead the company during the whole midst of this Vince McMahon stuff that was going on. She exited the company, didn't want to be a part of it. At least that's what allegedly that's what it looks like on the outside looking in. So I don't know what Vince was thinking. I just think he just didn't. If you wasn't Brock, if you wasn't a headliner, he really just didn't care. You're just fillers at that point.
yeah. It's really messed up because as legendarily as I was reading D the Degenerates comment where he said where is it right
So
here
put it up.
Vince always did the black wrestlers dirty minus the Rock. Well, you got to remember it was black wrestlers before the Rock, or even during the Rock's time. They got a push. I mean, you hear a lot more because a lot more people's coming out about the whole Vince McMahon scandal. But it's not just black wrestlers. It's everybody. Let's just be honest. Some people are being a little bit more tongue in cheek. Some people are being a little bit more close to the chest about it. But as far as WrestleMania goes, this is a Triple H show. I mean, WrestleMania 41. This is going to be a Triple H show.
Right.
And with the storyline, with the bloodline, Cody Rhodes, The Rock, hell, even, I don't know if you've seen this, Steve Austin was talking about he might make an appearance at 41.
That's what I heard that because one day he posted something on IG. Looks in bigger than where he used to wrestle. Like his biceps alone, I like he didn't have those when he used to wrestle. So I don't know, but I think with uh with that, it's only because how many years ago? 2 years ago. Well, this was 40. Yeah, WrestleMania 38. The Rock, Stone Cold and Kevin Owens had a match.
Yep, sure
Uh,
did.
an improv match. Think it was a tad bit sloppy, but on
Yeah.
just a tad bit, not overly bad, just slightly sloppy,
Yeah.
but still great. A slim Stone Cold can still go out there and perform, and if you can do that combined with the image that we saw on Instagram, I can see it. I can 100% see Stone Cold coming back to Mania. Granted, people was expecting him to see him in WrestleMania 40, but
Yeah.
We'll see what happens for
Yeah, we know what
41.
happened. With the knees, the neck, the hip. I mean, I don't know how old Austin is now. He can do a little something. He can't go, but then again, you never know with Mexican medicines. You get that Mexican medicine, it's over, baby.
Yep, that is a fact.
You get that, it is over. Next thing you know, you got Steve Austin Stunner and everybody in the building. But that would be fun to watch though. That match that he had with Kevin Owens, I think that was just really like a glorification. Even though I ain't gonna lie, he took a few bumps in that. Stone Cold never been one to shy away from it. He put on a show for the fans. How he was feeling probably a week or two after that, he was probably feeling them bumps though. I can tell you that much.
Right.
But with that, even with what's coming up next year at WrestleMania, I was reading a little bit. I got to go back and I got to find it. But I believe that we talked about on the last show. You said something was going on with the bloodline with Solo Sikoa. Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Solo Sikoa, and I believe him and Roman they trying to spark up a little thing between them.
Yep. Now,
Yes.
that's tricky. Here's why I say that. It's August. Survivor Series is a few months away. Matter of fact, on my birthday on November 30th. And WrestleMania is next year. It's like, are you guys really going to hold off on this happening all the way up until WrestleMania? And I'm aware that they're adding more people to the bloodlines. I will hope so, because I'll be screwing their names up. But who you got? I'm about to put her name. Obviously, Jacob Fatu. I like Jacob Fatu. And you had the Tonga Talalova, and there's another one. I forgot his name. So you got three. You got three right there. So you're gonna have to get some more people in the bloodline. But as we saw on SmackDown, although he's still in the boot, Jacob Fatu is ready to go. So that's gonna be Roman's. That might be Roman's first opponent, but you could stretch that out and give him the other two first. So it is going to be Roman versus Solo Sikoa. My thing is, thank you, Tama Tonga. Hold on. Yeah, Tama Tonga and Tonga Talaloa. So you can stretch this out all the way to Mania for Solo, but you need to add more members to the bloodline because it's only August.
It's gonna be exciting. I can tell you that much. I've always liked the Bloodline story. I remember when they first came out together. I remember the breakup. The breakup was something amazing.
That was yep.
Yeah, that was Jay. Jay left. Who left first? Was it Jay that left first, or was it?
It was technically Jimmy.
Jimmy left first.
Yeah, Jimmy left. Then Jay. No, actually, take it back. They left at the same time. Jimmy went back to the bloodline. And obviously, after WrestleMania happened, Jimmy's out the bloodline. Oddly enough, thanks to Solo.
Most definitely. Smarty, I believe we talked about this in the last episode, but do we get a Cody or Roman 3 and win?
No. No. Not 3 years in a row.
Yeah, we want a legit Cody and Roman 3, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I really don't think it's not this year. And depending on if they stay healthy, maybe next year. Well, yeah, maybe maybe 42, but not this year though. But with that, I'm excited for WrestleMania. But first, I gotta get Houston out the way. Houston is my biggest focus right now. But I'm still gonna stay abreast of what's going on. They're not stretching it. Wally says,
Wally, my guy, what's good, man?
Says they're not stretching it for Solo, even though he my guy. They stretching for The Rock. Yeah, The Rock thing with that Netflix thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Pushing it to Netflix was a good thing. We talked about this last time, but The Rock and I think they're trying to do Rock and Roman right now, or are they trying to do Rock and Cody?
Yeah, matter of fact, I forgot about that. Yes, they are trying to push for Rock and Roman. So let's go ahead and erase that timeline. They're going to push for Rock and Roman on WrestleMania. They can get Solo Sikoa and Roman for Survivor Series, and Jacob Fatu, Bad Blood in Atlanta, Georgia, is what it's what it's looking like.
Most definitely. But now let's go on to my man's John Cena. I pulled up 2 clips. One is only 8 minutes, and the other one is
10 minutes.
Yeah, so let me pull this one up first. There. All right, cool. Let's see what they talked about. Which, by the way, shout out to Club Shay. My Uncle Shannon Sharp. He always doing good things. The year 2024 with Cat Williams. It's been
73 million views in 7 months.
Oh, yeah. It's been hot. All right, let's go.
Triple H said, "You're the GOAT." I had Ric Flair on here. He said Shawn Michaels is the GOAT. Who's John Cena GOAT of WWE?
Gosh, that's a good question. I think that's what's interesting. I can name my top 4 hip hop artists because I have no skin in the game.
Yeah.
This is a tough one to answer because I have so much professional respect for.
Guess what his Mount Rushmore hip hop is?
Who?
Cena.
What's his Mount Rushmore of hip hop?
It's typical, but it's typical, but it's not bad. I like it. Jay-Z.
Okay.
Lil Wayne. No. Take it back. Jay-Z, Eminem, Nas, and Rakim.
Nas, Rakim, and Jay-Z, and you say who else? Eminem.
That's not the Rakim pick is not a bad one, so I'll give him credit for that. That's a good Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Malcolm. Go ahead.
Cena ain't the GOAT. Stop it. We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Malcolm, you don't think Cena not the GOAT, man?
16. He is literally tied with the other GOAT. So we're not doing that.
Cena been put in work. You got to remember, before we get more deeper into this video, after the Attitude Era, let me see. Cena picked up. I don't want to. It's gonna be tough.
He picked up Big Show and Edge. I was there in person.
No, not that. I'm just he. I don't want to use the term he held the company on his back, but for a long time, bro, you got to. He was
the face of the company. The face of the company.
He was the face of the company. He wasn't no Austin like carrying the company on his back. Because to even talk about how Austin carried the WWE on his back for those years, especially throughout the WCW reign, that was a fucking story to tell. But Cena, man, he was the face of the company. Every kid in America was jumping up and down when with the whole "you can't see me" thing. Yep. So yeah, Cena's the GOAT, man. He earned it. He put in that work. He had some damn good matches too. Him, Lesnar, him and Orton, man, him and Edge. A whole bunch of men. Him and Edge, the Edge match was fucking amazing as well. Yeah. Him and Taker, all of that good shit.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Cena did some damn good shit.
JBL called him Big Match John, and he earned that title.
Yeah. Damn, my opinion. She says, real quick, I go back to Coco Beware to about Attitude, then starting to getting to entertaining for me. Other Hawk LMS still down. I don't know what you mean by that. Damn.
Elaborate, because I want to know what you mean by that.
Yeah. Jay Will says if you set your expectations to Rock versus Roman at the next year's Mania, you're going to be disappointed. I don't know. Pushing for it though. They really are pushing for it. I understand the Cody thing, but you gotta remember how marketing works. Him and Cody had that thing already last Mania. Now it would be great to do a him and Roman thing this Mania. Then maybe you can do it. Now we getting into like theologies and shit. Now it can be Roman and Cody after Roman and Rock. or it could be a breakup, a run-in, bloodline. I don't know. It's so many things that can go with it.
What people are pushing for is because they adapted war games. So what they want to do is a civil war between the bloodline. One team is The Rock, the other team is Roman, and the question is who's going to be on Roman's team. Are you going? Can my guy main event is in the building? Salute to you, my brother. So you're going to have what? Roman probably reuniting the Usos, and I don't know who's the other person you want to add to that. Whereas Rock's team, you got Solo, you got Jesus, I forgot their name already. Tamatonga and Tamatolo.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have those two plus Jacob Fatu. So yeah. They wanted to do everybody wants there to be war games. And that could be your Survivor Series main event. So which can ultimately lead to the Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania. Not to say Roman can't fight Solo Sikoa at Royal Rumble, because he did do that before. He wrestled and then he went to go do the Royal Rumble. I was there in attendance when he did that for Royal Rumble 20. He wrestled Baron Corbin first that night, and he wrestled later on that night for the men's Royal Rumble. So he could definitely do it. It's very much possible.
Jay Will says no wrestler was about to draw more money than Stone Cold. I have to look at the numbers on that. I think when it comes down to who draw, as far as who brought in most money, I think it would go Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock. What do I want to put The Rock over Taker? Hogan, Stone Cold. Huh?
Who was the money draw back then?
Well,
but see, I mean, it's hard to say that because you had options of wrestlers that could do it as a collective.
Yeah,
you might have had some options during Cena's era, because it was Cena, maybe a couple other wrestlers. And if I had to go based off of what Paul Heyman said, nobody has drawn more than Roman, historically speaking.
Yeah, true. Rocky says technically Cena was more marketable than Stone Cold.
That is correct.
Think so.
That is correct. Nope.
You believe
He's
so?
absolutely right. He's absolutely right, because in the Attitude Era was the Attitude Era. You don't really care about marketing because people are going to come anyway. But in the PG era, where you're trying to, the company's going public, you want to gain more audience, you need somebody clean cut. That was John Cena's character.
Okay.
So he was very much marketable to children, to sponsors, household name amongst family. So
but then
never turned heel. And when he went good, babyface, he never turned heel after that.
Yeah, but you got to look at something like with Stone Cold. This man drew TV money and pay-per-view money. I don't know how many pay-per-views Cena has been in, but I can remember quite a few pay-per-views that Stone Cold has been in. I can remember, those, you got to remember, Stone Cold was hot every day of the week for 3 years straight, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because that was the rise of the Attitude Era and the rise of wrestling, especially going on cable television and eventually going on basic television as well.
Yeah, and then it all went bad when they call it the famous he took his ball and went home moment. But that's because they wanted Stone Cold to do a job for Brock Lesnar, and Stone Cold was like, no, and it was over. And he hurt the company a lot when he did do that.
Yeah, him and Vince saying top for months behind that.
Most definitely. Brother is in the building. What's happening, brother? What else we got before we get back to our video? What's that? Is that a super chat or is that no subscriber? Thanks for the new subscriber. Much appreciated. Jay Will says that's not true. Stone Cold was marketed to middle lower class America. The rating during the Attitude Era were the highest in the history. See, that's what I'm saying.
You couldn't beat. Yeah, no, I agree. It was the highest during during that era, I would definitely agree with that.
Mhm.
But as far as who's more marketable, you got that depends. Now you talking about people like us. Not to
Mhm.
say we don't like John Cena, but we missed that Attitude Era. So yeah, it
Yeah.
was easy to bring me Stone Cold, bring me The Rock, bring me Triple H. Who else back in the day? Then they had some heavy hitters. Bring in
Hell,
Mark
DX.
Henry, Godfather, Undertaker, and
Yeah.
all these Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, all of them. Bring all of them.
Edge,
Yeah,
Christian,
exactly.
the Brood, all of those guys. Yeah.
Right. That's era. You can market to us. We're gonna pull up regardless.
Right.
But when you transition into the PG era, now the question is, can you get the same audience? You're not gonna get the same audience technically, but the question is, can you get more audience than you had before? And you can get more audience with a PG crowd versus a rated R crowd.
Wally says again, what bigger, lower middle class or kids? I'll wait. Well, that's the thing. You got to remember in the PG era, that was where a lot of that money came from, because that's when more kids, because of the PG era, they went public. I think I would say COVID kind of hurt the business a little bit, but they worked their way around it, just like every other sports entertainment company. But during the PG area, that's when more kids got involved, because they took out a lot of things that they was doing during the Attitude Era. Now, during the Attitude Era, you got to remember, you had the Kurt Angle run, Stone Cold run, Rock run, Triple H run, DX run. Christian the Edge was doing something. The Hardy Boys was doing something. Undertaker was doing something. Kane came into the building.
Yep,
Kane came in, and when Kane came into the building, that just pushed Undertaker up way, even because that was the brother story.
And don't forget about Mankind, Mick Foley. Yep.
Right. So the Mankind Undertaker match, the Hell in a Cell. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, that match was amazing. Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair, that match was amazing. It's so much that happened during that era. Go ahead.
And also, I just remember when WrestleMania 25 was in Houston, ESPN did a special E60 on WrestleMania. I think they called it King of the Rings. And there's a formal way that Vince calls wrestling greatest theatrical something. Now, and then they clicked to Hulk Hogan, like, why the set of change? Because he had to tell him, like, see, back in the day, it would be the man with the beard, the cigar, they come, they watch wrestling, and it's cool. So it was cool to get that. But when you transition to the PG era, now that you get to bring your girls to the match, to the wrestling events. Now you bring your kids. Now you bring the kids and their friends. And now you see all these money piling in. So Vince made a right business decision. The question is, who are you going to market this? You can't put Stone Cold at the forefront of the PG era. You can't put the Rock that we grew up on. You can't put these guys there, but you have to put somebody there, and that's where John Cena came into play.
Yeah, and so even in that regard, that's why I say John Cena, when he get that GOAT status, when he stepped up, and I mean stepped up, he stepped up to the plate and he hit home runs out the motherfucking park. He did a damn good job at that. So let's get back to this right quick.
So many names.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have so much respect for Rick, like an ungodly amount of respect for Rick.
And if you're my age or close to my age, he's it.
And then if you're my age and you, one, are able to compete with him and perform with him, and two, when you're around Rick and you listen to what those matches were, his travel schedule, the sacrifices he made, the investment he had, his passion, that's like, whoa, man, you are fucking all about this.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'm also enamored by the business side.
Yes.
And I don't think there's a better breathing example of what's the best the business has ever been than Roman Reigns.
Okay.
And it's amazing that I'm saying a still active talent with years in front of him is the greatest of all time. Wow. But he's been in it since 2012. I had to work my way up. I started on the bench
Mhm.
and then got onto the Saturday program and then just lost every match. He came in with the Shield in a really high level spot and never wavered. Even when the fans didn't like him, he was still in a main event spot.
Go ahead.
He's I don't remember John Cena during those Saturdays matches, unless they're those ones that happen on that's recorded on Tuesdays and they don't get aired to the weekend. But for him to say that Roman is the greatest of all time, I can see that because,
I can't.
like, on the business side,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact of how he carried, and Drew McIntyre as well. I'm not putting GOAT status on Drew McIntyre, but regarding Roman,
Mm-hmm.
when you carry the company on your back during a pandemic and how you did it, I understand why John Cena would say that. I will give that into some level of considerations. Why that's John Cena say that's the GOAT. Now you could obviously say everybody needs a GOAT of this era. Like in NBA, LeBron James is the GOAT, and prior to that, you can go to Michael Jordan. Now, is LeBron better than Michael Jordan? The answer is no. 6 rings versus over 4 rings, obviously. So I understand because you don't want to be that old guy to say, "Oh, my generation was better." No, in this generation, he said it has to be Roman Reigns, and I can respect that for this era. Overall, you I might be able to count on one hand how many matches he had in the last 3 years, respectfully. But I understand why John Cena said that.
Hold on for a second. I gotta address my man's Wally. Wally, what Kenny did in AEW, which was great, but you got to look at NJPW, Kenny Omega. That man was amazing. Trust and believe me. If Kenny made it into the WWE, which I need to look that up and see why he never came to the WWE. But if Kenny came to the WWE, he would be a star. Now, back to this Roman Reigns thing. Let me just be honest with you. I never liked Roman Reigns. Let me tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I get the character, I get the imaging, I get the story, I get all of that. And he has a great ring name, Roman Reigns. He got a great ring name. As far as charisma goes, as far as character building, story building goes, I just don't like him. I think it's like just like what Johnson says, when he came in, he was already on top. There's never been a build up for Roman. It's always just been Roman's the top dog, and that's just what you need to accept. Well, where's his road work? Where's his record that makes him top dog? I get he had some memorable matches with a few people, but where was like that match that he had with Taker, which Taker should not have been in that ring. But other than that, what has he done to make him top dog? I don't see him as top dog. I just don't. And unfortunately, he's in an era where if you really had to name 15 great wrestlers of this era and go back even 1 or 2 eras, those wrestlers don't match up. I hate to say it, but what Undertaker said on Joe Rogan's podcast when he said that this era is kind of soft, I see what he means. But then now you just making Roman the top dog just because he's Roman? For what?
Well, who would you put over Roman as a GOAT of this era?
Randy.
That's the last. And Randy Orton is John Cena's era.
Okay. Of this era, is him and Kenny around the same age, or is him and Chris around? Well, how old is Roman Reigns?
40 something. So let me.
He's 39 years old.
Okay.
Wrestlers, 39 years old.
Because
Cody, Drew McIntyre, Keith Lee, Baron Corbin, Famous B. Well, I can just share this instead. It's safe to share.
yeah,
So these are all the wrestlers that's like within the same age group as him. Crimson, Tony Nose, Mike Bennett, Jamie. A lot of these people I don't know.
I know some of these people. They're not. I'm not putting none of them over.
Not even Cody?
Let's see. Cody? No, I can't put Cody over him. No.
Really? Why not?
He just literally won a championship. This is the first world championship in the Rose history. Now I understand his father got screwed.
But look at his body of work leading up to that though.
No, there's a build-up. Now you want to talk about a build-up. Now this is a great build-up from being a mid-car, leaving for 7 years, go make a name for yourself on the indie stage to the point where you started an indie company. Now it's a main event company on the realms of no, not John Moxley. Stop it. I like John Moxley, but no, I can't put that. Oh. You can say Seth is a go.
Yes, you can.
You know what? I'm glad he said Moxley because you can put Seth Rollins in there.
You can put him over Roman.
Oh Jesus!
I would put Seth Rollins over Roman. I just don't like Roman, bro. And it's not because I won't even say that he's a babyface or I'll say he's like kind of hybrid. But man, Roman, I just don't see Roman at that level. I don't. His body of work just doesn't add up, and I could be wrong. Now,
I know Wally hella disagrees. I get it, but let's go through this. And the Shield's one of the greatest factions of WWE history, just based off of Impact alone. So, but let's start with that tree. Off of Impact alone, because they was very much undefeated. And the only ones that can break them up was Seth. But let's just go with that real quick.
I'm gonna let you ride with that.
Hold on. We can get to that. Now, let's start with John Moxley. I like John Moxley. As far as world heavyweight championships, now in WWE he had at least one. Thank God. And of course. Oh, I gotta look at his career even outside of WWE. AEW, he played a part in that building, especially him versus Kenny Omega. So, as much as great work that John Moxley did, he's a restless wrestler. He'll go wrestle in other promotions. I'm not putting him above. I'm not gonna put him above Seth or Roman. Not yet. Come back and get the world heavyweight title. Now let's insert him into these conversations. Now regarding Seth, we're talking about build up because you're right. Roman was a slow build up, and he kind of lost the crowd. And let's forgive me for what I'm about to say. He didn't get the crowd back until he got diagnosed with leukemia for the second time around. And we're all happy that he's here to tell the story, by the way. So his build-up was organic. It was a real-life situation. But as far as it being wrestling, objectively speaking, I cannot put Roman over Seth Rollins. I can't.
As long as you put Roman down once, I'm happy.
Yeah, I can't put. I objectively cannot put Seth because let's go to it. For him coming in with the Shield, betraying the Shield, working with the Authority, then obviously unfortunately tearing his ACL during the match, to come back and go through his run that he did.
Yeah.
To leave and then decided to revamp himself. He took a chance with that because these outfits are pretty damn flamboyant. Like I still don't forget what he wore last year at WrestleMania 39.
And that's putting it nicely.
Yes, I do not forget. You are not supposed to dress better than your wife.
Hey, make sure when you do the edit, make sure you include that.
I hate
Oh
because it was
shit!
after WrestleMania. It was me, Wally, main event. I found that picture, dude looking like Chippendales. That pissed me. I'm gonna calm down. Because as a man, there's just certain things you're not supposed to. Let me relax. So when he decided to reinvent himself, I will admit his first outfits. If you guys go back to when he came back to the Thunderdome and started with this new thing, I liked his suits. I'm a suit guy. He was doing great. Then it went a little bit too bold. I was like, all right. But regardless of that, he stayed true to himself. He stayed true to character. And what's great about him is he started off as a heel. And this is the best. This is how you know you're doing something right. Where you can remain in character and you could transition from heel to babyface.
Yeah.
So or heel to like an anti-hero. Then you transition to babyface. Seth Rollins has did that much better than Roman has. I have to for this generation, I have to easily give it to Seth Rollins as a GOAT.
Yeah, without question. That as long as it's not Roman, we good.
He's been in a main event lens for over a decade now, and he's brought through his clock, and you could say whatever force has helped it. But in 2012, the stock was trading at $11. WWE or TKO stock's now at 117. Wow. That's on his shoulders. There isn't a better indication of, and I know it's a team effort, nobody does it alone. But like when you say, hey, that to me is like, that's some serious shit.
Yeah,
and for me, I got to give her respect where respect is due. And Joe's smart, passionate about the business, multi-generational athlete, has respect for his family, has respect for the locker room, has respect for the business. He's a very, very smart performer and somebody I respect. He would be my greatest of all time.
You follow the path, you get The Rock.
Yep.
So
Rock would be second because Rock did the same thing in the 90s, but this is the one time I can say this because Rock's numbers are always number one. Roman's numbers have been better than Dwayne's. But I mean, gosh, that's like this.
See, that's not fair. That is not, as much as I would like to agree with him, that reasoning is not fair. Because The Rock was a prisoner of the era that he wrestled in. Where back then, I gotta go back to see when WWE went public. But of course, he's gonna have better numbers. But I would say this is where inflation comes in. How much money would the stock be worth now if you was to and take inflation? Will it be more? Will it be just the same level as Roman Reigns? Will it be a little bit more? So I don't know. I don't think that's a fair comparison because it's like obviously.
Yeah, WWE went public October 19th, 1999. So you thinking in the 90s, yeah, Rock was on top, but there's other things that Rock had to compete with. Well, not other things, other people Rock had to compete with during the 90s. Look at all those big names that was in the same era as Rock.
And
so
he had to compete against WCW too.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to bring in. Dan, when did TNA break out? Because TNA went good for a little bit too.
It did its thing. It did its thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. In the 2000s. I just know it was in the 2000s. Well, because that, when I did that video, I know the intro was like it was like early 2000s, basically. It was early 2000s. And TNA was very respectable. That's when I knew who AJ Styles was. That's when I knew who Samoa Joe was. And I believe Xavier Woods was there as well. Jay Lethal, the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, and him and AJ. Now that was a rivalry right there. So yeah, that happened then. But they were prisoners of their eras. Of course, WWE stock was going to be worth $11 back then. And TKOs is like 117 right now. It's like, of course, I get it. I understand. Which reminds me, I need to put some money into TKO now that I think about
For
it.
reals. For reals. Let's also not forget one of the greatest motherfucking storylines in TNA history, which is one of my favorite, is my man, Perk Angle, baby.
Yes.
Perk Angle was the shit, baby. And listen, that motherfucker did everything. You want him to jump off the top of a cage? Bet.
Yep.
You want him to stay longer in the match? Bet. You want him to shorten up a match? No, it ain't happening. That fight, that little I want to call it a scripted MMA fight that he had with Samoa Joe, man, listen, blew the fucking roof off the goddamn building. But Angle, man,
he gave Samoa Joe his first L in TNA because he was undefeated for 14 months.
Yep, he sure was. Listen, that Perk Angle dog, listen, get that man about 50 perks and he good.
Yeah. Batista. When you decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna give this acting thing a try, because Rock wrestled, then went to acting, still wrestles periodically here and there. Batista did the same thing. Batista now, he mainly just does acting. And even Roman Reigns, he's followed in Europe. So what did you have conversations with Rock? Did you have
Pause it.
Did, but
Wally, you might be right about that one. He's the go to TNA, but let's really think about AJ Styles' resume.
Mm.
That dude got a resume on him from TNA to New Japan Wrestling, all these other indies before he got to WWE. And on it, see, the crazy thing about AJ Styles is WWE alone, he already penciled himself into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that Boneyard match was a shit.
Oh yeah, that was a great match. But now I think about it, because you brought up oh, Jesus. Well, AJ Styles not of this generation. I can still give it to Seth Rollins. But when you talk about GOATs, you got to put AJ Styles in that conversation. Of all time, nobody has not too many people have a resume that can compare to AJ Styles.
True.
I think our paths were different.
Okay.
I think, especially with Dwayne, he did WWE and said, I want to do acting.
Okay.
I think with Batista, he also said, I now want to do acting.
Okay.
I got a chance to do acting.
Okay.
And I got a chance early in my career. 2004 was my first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't go so well. And then I did a bunch of bad movies, but I got those chances because the WWE was opening a studio.
Right.
Again, if life cracks the door open, see what's behind it.
Yes.
So my boss was like, hey, you got to go to Australia to make this movie. Why? Because we were going to do it with Stone Cold and he backed out. When do we film? In a week. Get down there. Okay, let's go.
Right.
That got me kind of run out of the movie business in 2009. And then in the early, like 2010, 11, 12, I was approached with very small roles.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd been playing the same character on TV. Not that I was bored, but this was a chance to be like, hey, do you want to make fun of yourself? Or do you want to be part of this movie where you can dress up as a different character and do different stuff? So I didn't say I was going to go act. I just merely said, yo, there's an opportunity in front of me that I'd like to do. I know why I fucked up in the past because I wanted to be in the ring when I should have wanted to be on set.
Right.
Let's give this thing a try. And when you give it a try, give it a try. Respect the process, respect the long days, respect the multiple takes. It's not live entertainment. There's not 10,000 people screaming your name. Do this for this and do it the best you can. And that's when things start. Good work. I'm a firm believer in good work will get you another opportunity somewhere.
Right.
And that started to happen.
What's the hardest part about auditioning?
Failing is the thing. And a lot of the audition process, they're just looking, a lot of it is aesthetic. You know, you see a character in your mind when you read the book, and if the person walks in and they're the spitting image of that character, man, they got a good chance.
Right.
Anyone can be coachable. If I'm a director, I want to think, if I'm your head coach and I see you and I'm like, man, I think with good coaching, I think we can help this talent.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of the audition process. So the shitty thing is failing a lot. Like it is a business of rejection. In baseball, you get a hit 3 out of 10 times, you make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's an F.
See and this go about almost done. And that's like I said, the best. CM Punk said this in I forgot what article or what publication was interviewing him. This was during the whole pipe bomb situation before his match with John Cena at Money in the Bank, because he said how wrestlers are better than the actors that you have right now, and I understand what he said, why he said that, because you get a script, you memorize it to the T, you're invested in it, and on top of that, you get to take your hits, and so you're gonna be looking, so you're going to audition looking like God amongst men, and also you can remember a script. Yeah, when Big Show would do that, Big Show will also be a good draw because I forgot what show. I think it was called Psych on USA Network, the TV show Psych. Big Show was a guest star on it, and they all of them raved how well he was in role. He memorized his lines because they're not expecting much from big, tall, buff guys. But they say, oh no, these are intelligent brothers. So wrestlers are exceptional actors. I could say years later, CM Punk is actually right on that one. Now they're not Denzel or anything like that, but they're exceptional actors.
Yeah, they are. Well, you got to remember, and when you're doing live wrestling, everything is on the spot, but you also have to be able to call audibles. And this is
Hmm.
why the Rock and Hogan's match is still one of my favorite of all times, because that the temperature that match started at, where it went to, and how it finished, that had to be called on the fly. You look at other matches that had to be called on the fly, and excuse me, you look at how they adapt to how the crowd works. So even when it comes to movie, like when you have to be in a live setting and you have to make those audibles on the fly, that's one thing. But when you in a scripted thing, I was like, all right, all I gotta do is memorize this piece of paper, get the emotion right, cool. I already got that from acting in front of 10,000 people, damn near 285 nights a year. I can do this
Hmm.
in front of a camera. I'm used to 9 cameras being on me anyway. It's not a problem.
Right.
Yeah. So, but that acting thing, yeah, he's right about that. I want to go to the next clip where he said, where John Cena is talking about surpassing Ric Flair with 16 world titles, which is a big
Yep.
thing. That's a very big thing, and that's another reason why John Cena is considered to be the goat.
This
Yep.
is your final year in
This
WWE.
is it, 2025. This is it, man.
2025.
Yeah.
And so when you look at farewells, I mean, Kobe got a farewell, Kareem got a farewell. I mean, everybody's waiting for LeBron to get his farewell. I think the thing is Tom Brady didn't get that because we didn't really know Tom was going to retire. He just like, okay, I'm done now.
Man, first, I want to pause there. First of all, to hell with Tom Brady. I don't care what no one says. You can put Tom Brady up there and say he got the rent. Well, when you enter the Tom Brady argument, then you got to enter into the LeBron, Kobe, Jordan argument. I don't care how many Super Bowls this man has won. Brittany B, what's going on? Says, what you talking about? Wrestling is real. Exactly, wrestling is real. But let me tell you something about this Tom Brady character. To hell with Tom Brady. Never liked him. He may be a good quarterback, but without that O line and without them wide receivers and that tight end and
Hold
that
on, hold
halfback and that
on,
14,
hold on, hold
we're
on.
not about to
I
do this.
I
We're not
didn't
we're not
hold
about to
on.
do this.
I didn't like
Listen,
them first three rings. I did not like. I didn't like Tom Brady neither. But after a while, you just gotta respect greatness for what it is. So I understand. I ain't like the guy neither. I was happy when the Giants beat him the first time around. Trust me, nobody was more happier than me. But you got seven Super Bowl rings, five MVPs to go with it. You got to give him.
he had an O line to protect him. But listen, I'm with
Trust
Wiley
me.
on this one. Let's keep this on wrestling. If we get to talking about football, and listen, as much as I love, if we get to talking about football, we're gonna be here all night. But as far as this is my final word on the football thing, to hell with Tom Brady. That's just that. Now, what's your final words on Tom Brady? So, what's your final words on it?
I'm a buy a jersey and I'm a send it to Detroit.
You're my man. Listen, November ain't too far away. I can ask him to add you to that card. Listen, Hey, we gonna move on from Tom Brady because I'm telling you that's an argument for me.
What do you hope? What do you want your farewell? What do you want the lasting memories of your last year in the WWE? What do you want that to be?
That's a great question. Personally, I would like to just want it to be worth it. And I don't mean that I won't get value from it. I'll enjoy every second. I just want to justify it. Like I hope it is good for WWE business. I hope it continues to build the future of the brand and company. I hope that the events are satisfying for the audiences. From an audience perspective, I hope everyone can come to these events and either relive memories they might have had over the past 23 years or make new memories, because there's a whole new generation of superstars out there. So if a young kid who is all he's seen in programming is maybe Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, if his dad brings him in and be like, hey, son, 10 years ago, this was the guy.
Right.
And look at him, like he can still go. Like, this is my guy. And the son's like, no, this is my guy. I've heard so many stories from families about like, hey, one time my dad took me to wrestling. We watched you. Now I'm a grown man and I realized that was my way of my dad bonding with me. Thank you for that. So like, if the tour can do that, that's awesome. And I don't see, you have a 0% chance of doing that if you just say, I'm done.
Right.
We're not pure sport. The benefit of what we do is we're sports entertainment.
Amen.
So I can be like, the body doesn't feel, I have a choice. I could hang around for another 10 years and do like a match a year and maybe progressively get worse with my skill set, or take an honest look at myself and be like, I can do like 30, 40 dates this year, make it a thing, tell everybody this is it, which it is, be able to close the chapter in my life, move on to things that I'm curious and enthusiastic about, and hopefully create some moments and let people take away from it whatever they want. I want it to be worth it.
What would it mean for you? You're tied currently with Ric Flair, 16-time world champ, to get number 17. Who would you like to fight? The Rock?
Brandy, I can't stand you. I cannot stand you. Oh my God.
He was invisible on the camera. You can't blame her. The man used to always cast a spell every time he come out. You can't see me. Next thing you know, he just disappeared. And now it's a dude flying all over the ring. Oh shit.
Let's say this. Well, good. The update that we got from this is, I was under the impression that he's gonna wrestle all the way to WrestleMania, and that was gonna be his last match. The good news is he's gonna wrestle all the way to December of next year. So when I find out that they're coming to Houston, yes, me and my son are going. We are definitely gonna go pull up for his last match, just like people pulled up for Kobe's last whatchamacallit.
Everybody pulled up for Kobe's last game.
I'm telling you right now. Let me find out WWE's coming to Houston. And John Cena's wrestling. We're going. Yeah, I'm gonna let my son see that one. We are definitely going.
Yeah, without question.
Randy Orton, Logan Paul, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. Who would you?
Oh yeah, they're about to now. You can go through this. They're about to say who does John Cena's last match want to be? Now we can see. That's, and to be honest, I've been battling that question ever since Money in the Bank. Like who would it be? But we will definitely see.
Who is his greatest feud?
That's between Randy Orton and Edge. I'm not even going to put Triple H in there.
They dare not bring Edge back for WrestleMania. Because if they bring Edge back for WrestleMania,
their contract is still his contract is still tied up into AEW, so that's not even a topic of concern. John Cena and The Rock 3. Yeah, because technically, although the second time Rock won the first one, John won the second one, that was for the title. So you can make the argument that you need a third match to determine who's the better wrestler out of those two.
I was just about to say, because you got to remember, storyline wise, you got until next year to build this. Storyline wise, what would be on the line, right? We already know that Cena's getting out the game. Rock technically is 1 foot in the game, so
Mhm.
to even put them two in the ring is this wouldn't just be a retirement match, because this is going to be Cena's last match. What would be on the line? You see what I'm saying? This can't be a retirement match for Rock, because it would make no sense if Cena's going to be walking out the door, whether he win, lose, or draws. So
Mhm.
you would have to put something on the line for that to. Now, if you just want to say this is just for bragging rights and like, look, you got one, I got one, and we need the third one. Well, that kind of overshadows the fact that Cena won a title up off of him. So even if Rock do win a third one, it's just a match. It's not a title match. You see what I'm
And
saying? So
right, and also in WrestleMania, they had a moment, but Rock got the best of him, and it was real quick. It was a nice moment. It's nice for you guys to get stuck to remember what happened those two WrestleManias. But he took a swing that led to a rock bottom, and John Cena out the ring.
it wouldn't make no point. As far as storyline wise, I don't even think Cena really has much of a story in wrestling right now. I mean, did he ever
No.
do anything with Punk? He never did
Yes.
nothing with CM
Yes.
Punk.
Matter of fact, the match with Punk, actually, Cena has a bad win loss record against CM Punk because um, you can go back to Money in the Bank in Chicago,
Mhm.
and this was CM Punk's technically last match in WWE. Did not renew his contract. You win, you win as a world heavyweight champion, which
Mhm.
he did, and that kind of went on for a couple of years. Then John Cena finally got a win over CM Punk after Punk lost to The Rock 2 pay-per-views in a row for the heavyweight championship, and so John Cena won the Royal Rumble that year. So one Monday
Yeah.
Night Raw, they put it on the line. You win, CM Punk could get a third title shot against The Rock. If Cena wins, I keep my main event spot. Cena did a Hurricane Harana, which was first in his history, and he hit him with the AA, and that was pretty much the end of that feud.
Yeah. I'm with Malcolm on this one. Cena should have turned heel that second round match. Ruthless Aggression Cena was a motherfucker. I don't know. I've always liked heel characters, but I never forget what was the guy's name, the announcer's name. Cena went over to that table, snatched that headset off of him, and beat the living dog shit out of him. Can't remember that dude's name, but I also
JBL?
remember. Nah, I can't play the clip, but Cena
Cena, who did he
beats
do that to?
no
That's a good
Michael
question.
Cole. He beat the hell out of Michael Cole. It was 2012. He walked over there to that table,
Oh
snatched
yeah,
that
because Michael
headset.
Cole was heel around that time.
Yeah, when he beat the hell. First of all, I don't like Michael Cole anyway. But yeah, the way Cena beat the hell out of him. All right, it's Michael Cole, bro. It's Michael Cole.
He's cool now. He's cool now. He's cool now. And I found out when they cut a promo, he been doing Monday Night Raw or commentating for 26 years, and he only
Mhm.
missed 2 episodes. One of them was because of his son's wedding, and I forgot what the other one was. So that's a nice that's a nice shit, dedication right there.
Yeah, outside of outside of Randy, you can't bring Christian back. It will be no point for him to wrestle Rock. Roman's already set up. Cody's already set up. He literally has no heat with nobody, and there's literally no other person
But there's a
legitly to
line.
put in there.
But keep in mind, there's going to be a line of wrestlers who want to fight The Rock. I mean, who want to fight John Cena. You could throw in Austin Theory is going to try to run that back again. You can throw in who else? Obviously, him
Rock.
and I know him and Cody Rhodes going to go at it at least one time.
Yeah. Lesnar, you can do him and Lesnar because they actually legit had heat at one point. I remember that fight that they had in the ring where everybody thought it was a work, but no, it wasn't a work. That was legit. But that blood that you seen on Cena, that was real. So you can bring that back. I don't even know when's the last time I seen Lesnar in something, but
Well,
you can make that work.
they're slowly taking their time with Lesnar because they tied up Lesnar with the Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis situation. So
Yeah,
that's why you haven't seen them. Matter of fact, they took him off of 2K. So they're going to slowly bring
they
him
took
back.
him off.
They took him off 2K, yeah.
What?
And because just him being tied to Vince McMahon and whatever situation that happened behind the scenes, it was just those three names: Vince, John Laurinaitis, and uh, Brock Lesnar. And they elected to remove him from WWE for the time being. But they're going to slowly bring him back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up offline. I didn't know about that. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough. Do we need to finish off the last of this clip?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chance.
Right.
But I also, having been that champion, I respect the process, and I don't ever want to take somebody's spot, man. I don't ever want to take somebody's spot, you know?
Triple H said, "You're the GOAT." I had Ric Flair on here. He said,
Wrong clip. Hold up. Well, no,
That is right here. Hold on. Keep going.
Shawn Michaels is the
I think
GOAT.
this.
Who's John Cena GOAT?
Yeah,
of
this
WWE.
this runs into the other.
Gosh, that
Excuse me, Ken.
The Bush Guide, cold and
Yeah.
smooth.
Hold on.
That those clips they run into each other. So they took
Oh.
one clip and they blended it. So legitly, each clip was like 4 minutes long. They just mashed them together and made them into two different clips.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they did. So as far as Cena goes, we've already covered Cena. We covered Mania. What else we need to cover?
What else? We all know Roman's back. Jacob Fatu made his return, so he's slowly. We're going to get a Jacob Fatu and a Roman Reigns match at Bad Blood, in my opinion. That's what I think is going to happen. Atlanta, Georgia, they're bringing back Bad Blood, so this is think this is perfect timing for him and Fatu to go at it.
What about Braun Strowman?
Braun Strowman. I do not know what they are doing with Braun Strowman. I'm not going to hold you.
Okay.
He is too big. He is deceptively fast. And he was a world champion during the pandemic because Roman couldn't go for obvious reasons because we didn't have enough because COVID and leukemia, you don't want to mix those two together.
Yeah.
So they had Braun Strowman defeat Goldberg at WrestleMania, albeit at the Performance Center.
Yeah.
But now you finally brought him back under the Triple H reign. It's like, what do you guys want to do with him? You had to put a belt around him, a championship belt. Excuse me.
You think WWE would flag it if I play a short? You think WWE will flag us if I play a short? I just want to play the. I just want to play the. All right. Well, if y'all didn't see the Odyssey Jones return, man, when Odyssey Jones came back, like that's a big motherfucker. Now let me tell you something. When he lifted both the motherfuckers and held them, I lost my shit. I said, okay, first of all, when he came back, when he was walking to the ring, I was like, all right, I don't like that walk. It's a little stiff. Then he started to get loose. And I just noticed something. I'm not going to play it, but I'm going to just, it's paused. I'm going to just show it.
Okay.
If you look very closely, like here, well, you can't see my mouse on the screen. You see the Ric Flair cosplay right there?
Yeah.
Look right where the belt is.
Yeah, zoom in. Yeah, they take this thing seriously, man.
I can't zoom in because it's directly on YouTube. But yeah, right next to that purple cell phone, where the gold belt is.
Yeah,
That's
I
what Ric
saw
Flair
that.
cosplay.
Yeah, you'll see that. I remember somebody came to the event dressed up as Ric Flair, Rock, and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And when The Rock saw that, he was like, "This is that moment where we go off script."
Yeah.
I was seeing it's moments like that that I still watch wrestling because there's still some level of legitimacy to it. You just got to look for it. He's like, "Oh, they Ozzy Jones, the new Mark Henry." Yeah.
Yeah, Wally says Ozzy Jones is for sure him, but I don't like him with the New Day. I've never liked the New Day, period. It's just too flamboyant for me. Yes.
I was. Yeah,
it says Ozzy Jones, new Mark Henry. Listen, that moment, I want to play it, but WWE be on some bullshit. But yeah, when he lifted both the motherfuckers up, I was like, God damn, that was like a solid 800 plus pounds, right? I remember when he first. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, like AOP. If you guys don't know who the AOP is, just go Google them. The fact that he carried both of them up and dropped them, and I'm like, how was you able to do that? Then I saw a clip earlier today where he did that with 800 pounds. I was like, it makes a lot of sense now.
And he didn't even grunt. He just picked it up and then just set it down. But see, not only that, it wasn't the fact that he picked both of them up. He picked one up and waited for the second one to come. Mm-hmm. Then he picked him up and he stood there, and then he dropped them. I'm like, dog, he held, and he didn't struggle with him. He held them, and I'm just like, God damn. He didn't curl his fingers on that. That was all palms and just grip. And when he held him, I'm just like, God damn, how strong is this motherfucker? Yeah, it reminded me of all those legendary stories you hear about Mark Henry, like the bus and the car story. And I was re-listening to the podcast when he was on with Undertaker. And when the first time I heard this story, and he was talking about how he threatened to kill Shawn Michaels. And I was like, you didn't hear that? Oh man.
Undertaker threatened to kill Shawn Michaels?
No, Mark Henry threatened to kill Shawn Michaels. Hold on. Ooh. Yeah. There was playing a joke on him about his crutches. Hold on. I can share this because this is on Undertaker's podcast.
Trouble, and they sent me to Canada because I threatened to kill Shawn Michaels and the entire clique. They hit, I thought that.
Hey man, listen. He said it with a straight face too. That was the killer part. Because here's the thing: everybody in the wrestling world knows, man. Don't fuck with Mark, bro. When he say he will fuck you up, like just leave him alone. Please leave him alone. If you haven't had a chance to listen to this pod, you gotta listen to the entire episode, man. Which, by the way, we gotta talk about that one day. After wrestling outside, after the ring. A lot of these wrestlers really making a name for themselves, and I'm telling you, I'm so happy how Mark Calloway, because for 30 plus years this man barely spoke. The American Badass thing, What was the group that he had formed when he put Stephanie on the cross?
Oh, I know.
This was like when he used to come out with the Halloween costumes a lot.
Yeah, I remember that group. Jesus.
I can't remember.
Jesus, what was the name of that group?
It was real codish. I know that. It was the shit though.
Sent me to Canada because I threatened to kill.
There it is. The Ministry of Darkness.
Yes,
there we
thank
go.
You.
They got our wrestling fans. Yeah, the Ministry of Darkness was a shit too.
Shawn Michaels and the entire clique. They hit, I thought that. I thought it was them.
Nonchalant. He just said that.
I meant that. I meant it. But I found out later on it was Paul Bearer who hit my crutches. And I blamed it on Shawn now because they came up to me. Hey man, they hit your crutches. What happened? And I was like, man, you too small to be talking to me.
Yeah, man. Dog, listen. They'll
never when the wrestlers come to the ring, they'll say what city they're from and
Yeah.
how much they weigh.
Yeah.
You ain't never heard no mention of Shawn Michaels' weight ever.
Because man,
Ever. I'm thinking to myself, you have to be less than 205. You have to be less than 205 because why would they not say your weight? Because wow, I almost said the D word. The female wrestlers, you obviously you don't say a woman's weight because that's disrespectful.
No.
Although Nia Jax on the microphone said, "I am 299 pounds."
Yeah.
So the fact that you ain't never heard Shawn Michaels' weight, I'm like, why not? You have to be. I'm thinking to myself, he must be under 205. And Brittany, the D word is diva, because prior to back in the day, the women wrestler was called divas. Stephanie McMahon, when we went through the transition, to say no, these are women wrestlers. They could wrestle just as good as the men. And I'm on record saying Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair out wrestled better than the male performers that year. You want to do Superstar of the Year? I would have gave it to one of them during the WrestleMania 32 year.
Yeah. Someone else said that. I believe it was Bubba Ray Dudley when he was doing the interview one time, and they asked him, he was like, how do you feel about female wrestlers like today's day and age? He was like, they outperforming the males. He was like, I hate to say it. He was like, but it's just the truth. He was like, at the end of the day, you look at wrestling now versus 10, 20 years ago, right? 10, 20 years ago, it was nothing but just
bra panty matches. The match was like 30 seconds long.
Yeah. And you got the legendary nip slips, which we just don't talk about that. We just don't. Even if kids in the crowd, we just don't talk about. But the thing was, you look at all of the backstage antics and like when they take the camera backstage, you know it's a female gonna be involved. But the thing is, they moved from the backstage and they brought it to the front stage, and these girls is performing. They not just doing moves, they're performing. Even though sometimes it look a little but they still performing, they putting on the show. So like Bubba Ray said, Bubba Ray was like, man, he was like, you look at wrestling most, and they not coming out there in always skimpy outfits. They come in to fight. And in most cases, I can't remember. What is that girl's name? She had like a reddish hair. It's a clip. No, not Lita. This was in like the past 10 years. It's a clip. I gotta go find it.
Is she an actually good wrestler, or was she like, you just here just to be here?
No. She was a good wrestler. This thing was, it was in the middle of a match, and one of the girls threw a potato, and when she caught it, she noticed it, and she was like, bet. Instantaneous receipt. Threw that motherfucker right back, and when she caught it, she knocked the girl out. So I gotta remember. I gotta find out who that was so I can pull that clip. But before we get up out of here, I got one more clip I want to play.
All right.
Did you hear the Undertaker tell the Paul Bearer story about the cucumber?
This is about to be some pause-worthy shit. Okay, go ahead.
Paul Bearer story. Oh my gosh, how long you got? Man, I have to think about that. I don't want to get heat, but Paul was evil.
He's dead.
So you know why cucumbers is the Undertaker's worst nightmare, right? You never known that? Oh man, Chris, I gotta catch you up. All right. So he's gonna tell why he don't like cucumbers in this story, I believe.
I swear. He was a good man, love him to death. I miss him, but he was evil. He was a practical joker. Gosh dang, I don't know if I can tell that story and be political.
Yeah, you can tell me later.
Remind me to tell that story later. It's awful. It really is awful. I'm ashamed to even say that I was associated with that man. So you may or may not know this, but I don't care for cucumbers, really.
I'm about to. What are y'all about to do?
That much, right?
Yes.
I'm not
I feel like
scared.
everybody knows this.
I'm not scared of them.
going to get my hat ready for this one.
I just don't like them.
What don't you like about cucumbers?
They're the devil's. They're devil's spawn. They're just awful. Okay, when I was I don't know. I think I was in kindergarten, maybe first grade. I'd come home from school, and my mom had cut up a bunch of fresh cucumbers and had them soaking in vinegar, right? And my mom, I don't remember where she was at, but she wasn't in the kitchen with that voice that says, "No, that's enough. You've ate enough," right? So I end up eating this bowl. I'm 5 or 6 years old. I eat this bowl of cucumbers in vinegar, and I get so sick. I puked my guts out. And from that moment on, for years, I couldn't, if I even smelled cucumber, I would get nauseous. So, and even to this day, I can, like, every once in a while, I'll be in a sushi restaurant and they'll screw up. Like, sometimes I can move them aside and pick them out, but anyway.
Have you seen those Maury Povich episodes where people are scared of like tinfoil or olives?
Yes, yeah. I'm not that bad. I mean, I can like, you can put one on the table and I'm gonna be all right, but I just don't want to like to smell it. And I sure as hell don't want to taste one.
Has someone ever made you try to autograph one?
Yes, actually.
Yeah. Oh!
Do you autograph?
No, I threw it. They were pissed too.
Good. Thank God.
Smart ass with somebody else. I ain't signing that shit. But
with FanDuel, a 3-week.
Oh my God, bro!
Look here, boy. Because let me tell y'all, Undertaker's on my Mount Rushmore. Y'all just don't know. I literally, hell, my intro. One of my intros. You guys hear the dead man's bell. I literally pattern my stuff after the Undertaker. So, boy, man, you have my heart beating, because I was don't do this to my heroes, man.
Better.
Don't do this to my childhood heroes, man.
It gets so much like bro.
Wait a minute, this shit is 8 minutes long. Oh God,
bro, I was on the floor laughing by the end of the story.
This is going back before cell phones. Anyway, like, we had pagers. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I get a page, and it was from the office, right? 203 number. And I said,
Brittany B. You know what? Well, that's it. All right. Thanks, y'all. We appreciate it. Brittany B.
Hey, take that comment down. Go ahead and press play, man.
We had ordered food. We're sitting in a restaurant. Brian Adams, Paul Bearer, and myself. Brian Adams is just as bad as Paul Bearer. When it comes to ribs, by the way. And so I go to find me a payphone so I can call and see what's going on. So I come back, and both of them are just look like two little angels sitting there, right? And I'm like, all right, what'd y'all do? You know, because Brian and Paul were the only people that would rib me. Nobody else ribbed me. I was like, what'd y'all do? And then I'm looking around, and Paul's eating salad. I'm thinking salad. Oh, he's put a cucumber on something, because the food came while I was gone. So I had got to order a burger. So I'm going through the burger and looking at everything, moving the fries and everything around. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I know you did something. One of you two did something. And Brian's like, what would I do? What would I do? I'm like, just shut up. Eat your food. One of you did something. I don't know what it is. So, I mean, I go through all my food. I lift it up. I make sure I'm not setting on anything. I'm thoroughly convinced, okay, all right, maybe I'm just being a little...
By the way, It's legendarily known. There's nothing more funnier than wrestling ribs. If you don't know what a rib is, it's a joke. But Paul Bearer, legendarily, is the only man who can. Paul Bearer and Brian is the only two that can prank Undertaker. If you fuck with Undertaker, you're more than likely you either gonna get put out the locker room, or you're gonna get your ass beat.
Yep.
It's just what's gonna happen.
Yep, that is a fact.
A bit paranoid. So I take a bite of burger, great burger, dip my fries in ketchup, eat it. Oh, it's good. Grab my iced tea, go to wash it down. Paul had put a cucumber in the bottom of my glass, perfectly flat. So I couldn't see it until and it was, it was like one of those, and I see it and I get a spit pop from him. Paul spits out his food. Brian always is like, what the hell? Call the manager. I'm like, shut up, you MFer. And I'm like, which one of you did it? And Brian said, I would never, right? And Paul like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. And finally, I figured out it was Paul. Brian had.
Oh God damn it!
That reminds me of growing up in middle school when we went to the basketball tournaments. And once the tournaments done, we'll go to CC's.
Yeah.
Don't you leave your cup on the table.
Oh, it's over, baby. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. Listen. When I played football at Charles F. Ketterer High School here in Detroit, and my first locker room horror, it didn't happen to me, but I seen it happen to one of my teammates. Shoulder pads. You never leave your shoulder pads out, right? Shoulder pads, your cup, and your helmet. You leave those three things out, it's more than likely it's gonna get tampered with. And we just came in from practice. We in the locker room, we getting changed and shit like that. And everybody know you keep your shit with your shit. You see what I'm saying? You don't take your shit off over there by the damn bathroom and put it on the floor or put it on the bench and then go into the bathroom. No, you don't do that shit. This guy came, I can't remember this guy's name. He put his shoulder pads on the bench and he went to the bathroom. And as soon as he did that, I'm in my locker, I'm getting dressed. I look over, these motherfuckers and took his damn shoulder pads. Now, I'm not gonna say online what they did because
don't. I can only imagine.
It was terrible, bro.
I can only imagine. Keep going.
It was bad, bro. Yeah, when he got his shoulder pads back, he was pissed. He was rightly pissed too, because like the smell that came off that shoulder pad was ridiculous, bro. It was decrepit.
Salad. So I knew it came out of his salad. I said, okay, all right. You want to play ha-ha? We'll play ha-ha. So normally it goes, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. I let it slide. Nothing else happens. I don't retaliate. Normally, Paul would drive during the day. I drive during the night, like when we had to go from city to city if we weren't staying over. For some reason, we got twisted up. We were in Seattle, and we were driving from like Spokane or somewhere. It was a pretty healthy drive, and we would normally, like, if we needed gas or whatever, we would fill up before we went to the arena. So all we had to do was get on the road and go. And that was
Brittany is one you can never say shit around. Like that's what I'm learning about Brittany B. She gonna take everything and make it into a pause moment. A guy came while talking about the man's locker room. See, you can't.
It's our plan.
Not with Brittany B.
So anyway, we're about, I don't know, we're about 20, 30 miles outside of Seattle. Paul goes,
no, never. No, press play, because she would have.
Will you stop? I need to go pee. I was like, okay. Paul goes, hey, will you stop? I need to go pee. I was like, okay, yeah. As soon as I see one, I'll pull over. So I'm driving along. I'm messing with the radio because I know there's an exit here. He goes, hey, there's a one. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I missed that one. And he was like, well, hurry up. I got to pee bad, right? So I'm driving along and coming up on another sign that says, bathrooms and restaurants. He goes, pull here, right here. I was like, where? Which one? Where? Over here? So I'm looking over here at this point. Like, God damn you. You better pull over. I got to pee, right? So now we end up, and he is absolutely like withering in his. He is just can't hold himself. And now we're downtown Seattle, and now I'm looking for a gas station. I'm looking for a gas station. Next one I see, I'm pulling over. He's not even talking now at this point. He can't. If he talks, he's going to piss himself. And so we're driving, and I can see like 3 blocks down. I could see like a Exxon or something like that. And he was like, and I'm moving through the traffic and everything, and he goes, right up there, damn it. And as soon as he said that, man, I make a hard right turn, and that was all it took, man. So I go up like 2 more blocks and pull into this gas station. He had pissed himself. He had jeans on about this color. They're actually a little bit lighter than this, and it was just a huge piss stain. And he was so mad. So I fill the car up, and he's looking for a jacket or something to wrap around him, and I can't hold. My ribs are starting to hurt laughing so hard at him. And finally, he gets in, and he's blowed up like a puffer fish. He is so mad at me. And I was like, Paul, what? Damn it. No, he's just so pissy now, right? And I said, I don't like cucumbers.
Listen, to take 3 weeks to get a motherfucker back and just be like, I don't like cucumbers. But this is what I miss.
Yes, I'm gonna let that shit sit a little longer.
Bro, listen. So the gimmick is like, I'm gonna just tell you like this. If you traveling on the road with a group, right, and you get a prank played on you, you don't let it show that it bothered you, even if it did. And then 2, like let's say we out traveling, whatever, and we with Brittany B, and Brittany B says this, right? And then Chris gets back in the car, and there's a toll bell right there. If Chris says anything about the toll bell, trust and believe, every time Chris get back in the car, it's gonna be a bell right there. So Chris just doesn't let it show that it bothered him. He just be like, oh, okay, all right, I got you. 4 weeks later, 5 weeks later, Brittany B is in the chat or on somebody's chat and be like, oh, hey, Brittany B, guess what? Be like, what? And then he bans her out the chat for a month, and they be like, yeah, I don't like bells. That's the good shit about the good old days of wrestling. All right, man, we about to get her out of here.
Yeah, man.
2-hour mark down.
Oh shit, damn! I didn't know we was on that. I didn't know it was about to be 2 hours. Yeah, I gotta watch my words carefully because Brittany B in the chat, she just waiting to capitalize on both of us. So I'm gonna choose my words carefully. I did not know we was on streaming for about close to 2 hours, but hey, man. All right, but thank you guys for tuning in. No, don't be. Oh man, Brittany.
She said stop coming. She said stop coming in bills.
I can't stand Brittany. I'm gonna let her make it. I'm going to let this woman make it.
Jay Will says, are y'all going to make this an open panel show at some point?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. This is right now. This is just the history about this. I started Wrestling Wednesday sometime last year, and it's like I'm not ashamed to let people know that I'm a fan of wrestling, and I'm not ashamed to let people know that I still watch wrestling, especially when it comes to behind the scenes of how things are ran, how things are organized. And Brittany go to bed, so and I would do it on and off, but Sel reached out to me and said, hey man, let's bring it back. Let's bring Wrestling Wednesday back. I was like, bet. Because we are still doing the Wrestling Wednesday channel. We are going to slowly but surely start migrating content from here to there. And I would like to continue to make make the Wrestling Wednesday go further than where I originally planned for it to go, and that includes opening the panel. So me and we're going to talk about that, and we're going to see when we want to start dropping the link to let people pull up and be part of the conversation.
Most definitely. I'm finding more and more people in, like, when I looked at, like, when we did that first show and I was looking throughout the chat, I said, damn, there's a lot of you motherfuckers that actually like wrestling. I never knew it. And even now, like when I was just doing my stream earlier, and Jay Wills and a few other people was just like, so y'all doing the wrestling talk, right? That's my fault. I had some important things to take care of last week, so I really couldn't do Wrestling Wednesday last week. But every week on Wednesday, I mean, hell, we might have to, if it turns out to be bigger, might have to do another day. But Wrestling Wednesdays, yeah, you can expect us to be here. And yeah, when we get that open panel going, it's just gonna open up even more. And I know, man, y'all gonna come with more stories. Chris, everybody loved wrestling. We all grew up on it. Yeah, it's so true. Like that's what I'm finding. Like even now, when you look within this space and other spaces, you can see people actually reacting some of their favorite wrestlers, even if they don't know it. You see what I'm saying? When people get to shouting and dancing around and talking at the time, I'm like, oh, you just cutting a promo. What do you mean by cutting a promo? Don't worry about it. But the other people, they be like, oh, he cutting a promo. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There you go. Yep. That's so. And the funny thing about that is, I decided to real quick before we go.
Yeah.
There were people who was legit scared of that bell.
Yeah.
There, till this day. When did we start doing intros for Fight Club?
I can't. Okay, so the thing about Fight Club ended when?
It ended sometime. No, this year. Earlier this year.
I can remember my very first time on Fight Club. Do you remember when Daryl and Tommy got into it on Fight Club? That last time. That's when that was my very first time being on Fight. I'm pretty sure there's a clip of it. Tommy versus Daryl Fight Club. Yep. This was my very first time. Excuse me. This is a year ago. And this is not a channel that, well, this is a channel that it looked like it had some Fight Club content, but this is the very first time I was on Fight Club, which is a year ago. So I've only been in a Fight Club space for a year. But go ahead, I'm listening.
It was Super Bowl. That's when we premiered it. Super Bowl last year, because they was doing the intros, and they say, you want to do an intro, go ahead and send cash app to Salute to Sway and Cheeky, cash app them and come up with the intro and a sniper video. And yes, I was the only one, and I probably had the most memorable intro of Fight Club. I said, I want to do something that is just 100% me, and what would that be? And I was like, let's do it. Let me get my AIs in order, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that on there because it fits me perfectly, especially during the Fight Club days. It's like, you were saying some stupid shit if I pop on the panel, so all of this is about to stop. So drop the bells, drop another one for good luck, and the chat will go fucking insane. And some of the girls, some of the women be like, I hate your intro. I don't like it. Don't bell. Do you know what they stand for? And all this other stuff. I was like, yeah, it means I'm here. Whatever goofy shit y'all was doing, that's gonna cease to exist. If not, I got $20 to silence you for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I remember those days. There was one particular incident you came in on. Somebody said some stupid shit.
Well,
and yeah, and whole screen went black. I was on the panel. Whole screen went black, and these photos start coming up. And you heard, first you heard the bell, then these photos start coming up. And I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" And then when I see the name, by the time the intro was over, 3 people left the panel. I was like, "What the fuck just happened? Who is this nigga? Like, what the fuck is going on?" And I'm just like, "Oh, okay." Then I seen that night when you went in on Jay Prince, and I was like, "Okay, it makes sense now. I understand why people don't fuck with him."
Why did I go at Jay Prince that particular
Because
night?
Jay Prince is Jay Prince.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah, because especially if you've seen last night's show.
Yeah, I'm going to speak on that publicly,
Yeah,
but we're gonna wait till that story further plays itself out. But I'm not gonna
Yeah.
speak on it publicly until more details is revealed.
well, come the 21st of, I believe, is October.
You said October. You guys said October. So I will not make any public comments about those 2 individuals until after the court dates is this situation is taken care of. I'm gonna keep that to myself.
Yeah, it's best because right now it's pretty divided, and we'll talk about it. But we about to go ahead and get up out of here. I appreciate all of y'all stopping by. Make sure y'all pull through next Wednesday, and we'll get more situated to where y'all can come up and y'all can join the conversation, share some wrestling stories, and some information and some insight on some things. Maybe y'all seen something or know something that we missed. But until then,
So real quick, watch your SmackDowns, Monday Night Raws, NXTs. Would squeeze in AEW. Go ahead, set your DVRs. So go ahead, get back into wrestling, man. All of that's just. I'm not just talking to Will. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to people in the chat. Like, let's have this open panel conversation. Maybe there's some wrestling promotions that we need to be put on game. I seen a promotion called something about Nubian. It's a Nubian wrestling promo where it's nothing but all black female wrestlers. So I'm not going to tell you what I saw. Just know that they were, just think about what the female wrestler used to wear back in the day. And throw in Nubian queens, all this stuff, all these characters, and it's backyard wrestling. So play with that imagination. If I find a link, I'll post it on my community tab for you guys to watch. And we're going to try to start going through, and that's what we're going to start doing. We're going to start going through actual wrestling matches. We're going to start reacting to wrestling matches in the future. So that way we can just give our honest critique, what we think about the performers, to the actual referee as well, to everything. That's going to be in the near future.
are you talking about LFC?
LLC? Was it LLC? No.
LFC.
Hold on. LFC?
Here, I'll just do what I'll do. I'll copy this YouTube link and I'll put this in the back chat. Is this what you're talking about?
Let me copy and paste this real quick. When I seen that, I don't know how I stumbled upon that, but I was like, hold on, I can't. This is not what I seen. But just think about God. Oh my.
Is that what you're talking about?
My bad. No. Something different. Just a lot more melanin to it.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. No, I just like, bro, I don't think we can.
My bad, y'all. My bad. I forgot. Will ain't shit.
I mean, but you should watch the match though. It's a good match. It's a good match. Yeah, you should watch it.
Does the L stand for lingerie?
Yes.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
That's what I thought. Listen, we're gonna get in trouble. I appreciate y'all stopping by. We gonna go ahead and get up out this thing.
All right, see y'all next week, man.
Yeah, see ya.
Shit, this nigga.
You fucking